Hey, I'm here with my buddy Russell. We're going to be talking, Mike Carmindro. We're going to be talking about some trades today. So first, let's just catch up. Tell us what you've been doing, Russell, with all the COVID stuff and your restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. I don't even know where to start. I mean,
you own restaurants, Russell?
yeah,
Oh,
I own
wow.
a few restaurants here in LA, and then we're supposed to open another two, well, one bar and one restaurant in the next month or two. So, we've been working on those for a while, so it's not like we can stop them or whatever.
Right.
But they've been delayed, but, they just announced bar closures like they did in Texas.
Yeah.
We reclosed them yesterday, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. I just got to deal with it.
What's this thing with everybody resisting wearing the mask thing? I can't quite, it does not compute.
Yeah, I think it's a little worse out there in Texas, but
Yeah.
there is some of it here. I mean, I think a couple kind of neighborhood taco places, a chain closed.
Yeah.
Because customers were getting angry at the staff when they were asking them to put masks on. At like a walk-up window. It's not like a sit-down restaurant where
Right.
you're allowed to sit down without a mask and eat and drink.
Right.
So I don't know. People are crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's frustrated, but
Right.
it doesn't condone or justify the behavior.
Sure. Well, you want to get right into it? You want any kind of background educational stuff on options, or you want to just get into some ideas?
I'm still a newbie. I haven't been able to do, well, to be honest, any homework since we last talked.
Yeah.
Because I just had so much work going on. But,
Okay.
just following the market at a very high level. But in terms of like the mechanics and the specifics of options, I haven't really able to.
Well, let's just kind of put a few. Let's talk about things that you're bullish on or things that you're bearish on. And do you have an ability to kind of open up your stuff in trade diff so you could actually put on some trades if we find one that we like?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I am going to go into, say, my contest, and then we'll kind of just talk. What are some of the things that you might be bullish or bearish on? Have you thought about that?
I mean, bearish.
Bearish or bullish?
Bearish everything.
Bearish everything?
I don't know if, it's just current, my current work just kind of affects my overall mindset, but,
Yep.
I've been reading a lot of I don't know, these Market Watch report, marketwatch.com or whatever.
Yeah.
And, I just read the headlines, and I occasionally get to read a full article, but, they're talking about a lot of these, the Robin Hood traders, the kind of, newbie day traders that, are just working from home and have a bunch of time on their hands.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are kind of, driving up and propping up, these stocks like Hertz and, the airline industries where the traditional investors and institutional investors are very bearish. So.
Right. Well, Hertz has already claimed bankruptcy, so I'd hate to short it. But on the other hand, you could do Avis, you could do Lyft, you could do Las Vegas Sands, you could do Wynn. In fact, I did some bearish trades on Las Vegas Sands and Wynn today. I even did one overall on the QQQ.
What's
kind
that?
of a bearish put diagonal on the QQQ. So you're just basically playing bearish on the entire tech sector.
Oh, okay. So that's like a sector stock or a index, or
it's an index. The two most common indexes are what they call SPY, which is SPY, which is the 500 largest companies in the United States. The technology one is QQQ.
Yeah.
So I needed some bearish. What happened is the market went down 700 points on Friday. So the way my portfolio kind of is positioned is when it goes down, I get increasingly more bullish beta weighted deltas, which I didn't really want. So I was looking for the next recovery, which had happened today. It's up, last I checked, 200 points. So I'm looking for ways to get bearish on this up move so that I have fewer positive beta weighted deltas. So I did a bearish put diagonal in QQQ, Las Vegas Sands, and Win are three things were kind of up today. And it's always nice to put a bearish trade on it during an up day.
Yeah.
So any of those appeal to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the casino stocks are of interest.
Okay.
Obviously, I wish I could get to Vegas, but can't.
Yeah. Well, let's put on some bearish trades and say Las Vegas Sands and Win. How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, I've given Steve Wynn quite a bit of my money over the years.
So you might as well kind of get some back. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I did, just as an example on Las Vegas Sands, and I bought a 45 put in August and sold a July put at 40. And if I could, what I'm going to do is kind of, since I'm recording this, I'll kind of do a security thing so people can't see my account number. But I'm going to show you this trade and take a look at it in the Analyze tab so you can kind of take a look at what it looks like. All right.
Okay.
All right. So this is in Las Vegas Sands. So let's see. LVS is the symbol. So I'm going to check just what I did today here in here. So basically, Las Vegas Sands is currently trading at $44.64. So this is kind of what it's trading at. So see this number here where it says July 18th?
Yep.
So you can kind of see if the price starts to go down, you can see kind of what kind of money, and this is, I traded 10 contracts. You can see what kind of money you start to make as it goes down to 41.37. You can see by expiration, you'd make 17.36. If it was at this price today and I closed it out, I'd make 574. So the purple number is if it was at that price today and I closed it out, how much I would make. And the green is kind of if I closed it out at that price at expiration. So you can see my maximum win is about 2,500. And where you really lose is if it keeps going up, right? So this is a bearish trade on Las Vegas Sands. And if you'd like it, then we could kind of put something on like that in your paper trader.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go into my paper trader and then you could kind of follow me on yours if you want. So I'm going to share another screen now and I'll bring up my account. Nobody Knows Anything, which is the name of my portfolio in our. So here's Nobody Knows Anything. And so what I would do is you click on trade up here. And then you go into Las Vegas Sands, LVS, get the chain. And what we're doing is we're buying the August 45s, puts.
Okay, 1 second. Let me pull up mine. Oh, it looks like I have a couple.
You already have some stuff on Las Vegas Sands?
No, but it looks like I have 3 portfolios.
Well, you want to go to the one in the contest. You want me to show you how to get there?
Yeah, and I see it, but I see 2 of them. So I think there was an issue where I had.
Yeah, let me tell you what yours is called. If you go into your kind of main area and you go into contests and you click on, trading boot camp,
Okay.
yours is called Busto to Robusto.
Yep.
Right here.
Oh, I'm not seeing your screen.
Oh, you're not? Okay, I'm going to stop my share. And then I'll share this other screen. All right, let's see. All right, so here's the contest, Trading Boot Camp.
Yeah, so I see that. So
okay, and then you go down to your name. You're currently in 7th place. So you click on Busto to Robusto.
Okay.
It brings it up. Okay, so then up here in the upper right, you need to click on Trade.
Upper right, okay. Okay, I see it on my screen, not your screen. Okay.
Yep, and if you want to share your screen, I'll stop my share and let you share yours if you want.
Let me see. Okay. What do I select?
Okay.
Just desktop one?
Have you clicked on Trade?
Oh, sorry, I'm still trying to share my screen.
Okay. Yeah, bottom green, share screen, and then it'll ask you which screen do you want to share, and you select which one you want to share. You want to share the trade diff screen.
Oh, Safari. Okay. There we go. You know, I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, you want me just to share mine and show you?
Yeah, that's fine. I can kind of toggle back and forth.
All right, so I'm going to go into mine since I can't trade yours. So I'm going into contest, Trading Boot Camp, and I'm going to go to mine. Nobody knows anything.
Oh, I'm ahead of Dale in the contest.
Yeah. And then you click on Trade.
Yeah.
You know, those who can do and those who can't teach. So, all right, you put LVS into the chain.
All right, LVS.
And then we're going to buy the August 45s.
So August 21?
Yep.
Okay.
45 puts.
45.
Hover over it until you see the word buy.
Buy.
And then we're going to sell the July 40s.
Okay, so I'm at $4.35, buy 45 puts.
You're buying the 45 put in August, and you're selling the 40 put in July.
Sell.
Now, it's not letting me do it because I already have a trade on in Las Vegas Sands, and our contest won't allow me to get over 4% of my portfolio on any one underlying. You should be able to do it.
Okay, so let me look at compare 0.86. Oh no, 140 put and 145.
You're buying 145, the 45, and you're selling the 40.
So mine is my green is on the left and my red is on the right. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Okay.
Now over here, you know, you can crank up the number of contracts in the yellow. So what I'd do is, since you don't have many trades on, why don't you just do the maximum number of contracts you can before it gives you a violation?
Okay.
How many of contracts will it let you do?
I'm up over 25.
Okay, I'd like for you to be able to share your screen because I don't think you should be able to put that many on.
All right, let me try to just share my screen again.
I'm going to stop my share because, I mean, something fishy's happening if it's letting you put on 25 contracts.
All right, let me, Safari.
You should see a picture of the different screens it wants you to share when you click on share screen.
Yeah.
Okay, something's happening. There you go. Okay. All right, so you've bought the, okay, margin.
Only 5K margin.
Okay, but is, let's see, scroll up. Let me make sure. Is this? Okay. Yeah, I guess it does let you put on that many contracts. Is that right, Mike? Does that look right to you?
Well, it's only 5K margin.
Okay. But it's showing him minus $9.60 theta. Does that look right?
Okay, she's done now.
Okay.
So let's see, the 45 put and the selling the 24 puts. And are those the right legs? Selling the
Buying the 45s and selling the 40s.
Can we redo this, Russell?
Yeah, so hit the X.
Yeah, hit the X. I just want to see which.
Okay, so
back up.
Buy the 40. Buy this.
He's in August. Okay, so he's in August.
Buy the 45 in August,
So
and then you want to
right?
sell, and you want to sell the 40 in July.
Okay, he's not in July.
Oh,
Okay.
so then I do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
And
you
then
need to
I-
scroll up to July.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
why.
July, which one?
The 40s,
July.
the
So-
monthly, the July
Monthly,
17th.
July 17th.
Oh, monthly. Okay. So
All right.
and then sell 40.
Yeah.
So I just gotta. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Now we've got positive theta. Now it makes
Yep.
sense. Now crank up the number of contracts.
There you go. That'll hit
Yeah.
10 pretty fast.
Okay.
Well, it's actually still can get a decent amount. Just go ahead and go all the way up until it stops, until the violation occurs. All right.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and click submit?
All right.
All right. So now you got a bearish move on Las Vegas Sands. You want to do one on win?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do WYNN. And it's trading at $73.43. So why don't we buy the August 75s puts?
August monthly, right?
August monthly. Let's buy the 75s.
This guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then let's buy let's sell the July 69s. It's a nice number.
Bill and Ted's.
And then crank up the number of contracts there. All right, crank it down. X submit. So now you've got a bearish with positive theta, which means you're the casino rather than the sports gambler. At least you're betting negative, but the odds are in your favor, and you get positive theta decay. See down here, see where it says 74.03 in theta?
Yeah, right here.
That means every day that passes, you automatically get $74, as opposed to having to pay it like rake.
Oh, okay.
So that's what makes you more like the casino, in that you're collecting money rather than having to pay it out.
Just to be clear, all things being equal, $74 a day in theory is what you should be getting. Of course, in reality, when stocks move and the stocks change, the deltas change, the Greeks change as well. So that number changes all the time.
So the theta is kind of like LA traffic. Sometimes it moves fast and sometimes it moves slow. But if you were to look at it
fast,
if you were to look at it over the whole average, in this case, the miles per hour would be average 74. All right. Anything else you're bullish or bearish on?
I mean,
you did say you're bearish on everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it sounds like he wants to do like an index bearish play, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good. I was actually thinking about doing.
You want to do a bearish play on QQQ?
Sure.
All right. So go into trade. Why don't we You know, buy on the QQQ. And why don't we, Mike, you want to suggest a diagonal?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
So let's see. So I'm going to suggest you go to the July 17th right there. And what I usually do is I look for the strike I want to sell where I think is reasonably below, reasonably a target point to where I think the market could go to. So let's say this is, I'm just going through my thought process. You can just, eventually you'll have your own, but this is what a way I think. So when I look about where the stock market might go in the next, I don't know, month or so, is I think realistically we could drop, 5 to 10%.
Do you think month or so, since you're looking at July 17th?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I mean, because we'll get more theta. I'm experimenting with more shorter term shorting, like the weeklies. But for him, I just want to go a little more conservative. So I want to go theta. So if I look at the right column, where it says the very far right column, let's go down, scroll up a little bit. Yeah, scroll up a little bit. All right. So I'm looking at these numbers. Go back down. And I'm looking at the ones that give you about $1. So I think that's about 10%.
216.
That's a 10 delta. So how, if you're really bearish, okay, let's say you're moderately bearish. So let's go up a little bit, go back up to the other way. I mean, sorry, down. Let's go.
Well, I mean, 10% would be big, right?
It'd be pretty big. So let's go like half of that. So let's go like the 228.
$12 down.
So that's interesting that you said that. So that's kind of the way I was thinking is, if you think 10% is a pretty big down move, like bigger than you might, it's huge, right? So you don't need to go down 10% because you'll be giving up a lot of theta. So let's go down maybe like 228, 229, which for Dale's reference, and because he likes to look at delta, that's the 22 delta. So let's sell the 228. How about that? That's about 6%, 22 deltas. Sell the 228.
And let me explain what the 22%. 22% means it's got a 22% chance that it goes down to that by July 17th.
At expiration. Yeah.
Okay, so that's still a low percentage, right?
Right, yep. But that's what you kind of want. I mean, you don't want like a super high percentage because that's not the trade you're trying to put on here.
Happen, right? Okay.
You're trying to give yourself some bang for your buck if it does go down close to that strike.
Well, once you put it on, I'll put it on in the risk graph and then show him what the risk graph looks like.
Okay. So click that.
So click this. Okay.
Yep.
So it's he's selling the 228 puts in July.
Yep. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a different expiration. So go up a little bit in that little window and scroll down. You can either click, you can just scroll down or click that to collapse it.
Okay. So I can
click, go up a little bit. Yeah. Click that row. Yeah. Collapse it, the whole thing.
It's not.
Click your.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Okay. So now you can go down to, let's say, August 21st monthlies, 53 days. There you go. All right. So now what I like to do is I like to go to the strike that you were at, 228, and start from there. Because you sold that. You go to 228 and start from there. Or, 228. And then, all right, so now you're there. So now what you want to do is you want to give yourself a little, you want to go buy a little bit of a further strike. That's why they call it diagonal, because you're diagonalizing the strikes. So to diagonalize a strike, you would go something below 228. And here's the benefits of that. So the further you go down, the more risk you're going to take. And what you probably want is somewhere near 228. So I would say the 225.
25? Okay.
Yeah.
And you're buying that one, okay?
Yeah, so buy that one. All right, so now you have a net of 332. So So just crank up the.
So again, in like layman's terms, can you guys just kind of tell me, what these two things are kind of doing together?
You're getting bearish on QQQ with positive theta decay.
And you're giving yourself, the way I think about it is, the way I think about these is you're giving yourself around down to the 228 to make money somewhere in the next couple of weeks. That's kind of the way I think about it. So if you think that the QQQs might start to drop somewhere between now and the expiration, somewhere between now and this level and 228, which is about 6%, that window of right here and down 6% is where you want this to be in the next couple of weeks. And I think anywhere in that area, you'll probably make money.
Now, Russell, if you want to go ahead and submit that, then let me show you the risk graph.
So what I think we should do is we should check back your portfolio in about a week or so, and we should reevaluate these positions.
Okay, I'm going to share the risk graph and kind of show you what it looks like. Okay.
And then Russell, we can talk about why the positions are up or why they're down, and then so you can understand why they changed the way they did.
Okay.
That's kind of the way you do it. Is you want to know why your position is making money and why it's losing money, and that's then you understand how the Greeks work.
QQQ is currently trading at 241.85. So I click on the Analyze tab, and here we are about 241.85. So you're breaking even on this trade today. You just put it on. So what I want you to see is as it moves down, I want you to see this little green number. See right here. Watch this green number as if QQQ starts to move down. You can see how you're making 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000, 12,000.
But keep in mind that green number is at expiration. So
at expiration,
if it were to drop to 220 tomorrow, you would probably be losing a little money on this trade, right, Dale? I mean,
if it drops to 228 tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. So does that make sense, Russell?
Actually, it's showing him. If it dropped to 228 tomorrow, he'd make $384.
So it'd be yeah. So that's just true. You probably making a very that's a good point. You'd be making a little money, but you probably don't want this to drop to 228 tomorrow. But at some point in the next couple of weeks, what we ideally want is just to kind of go somewhere between here and 228.
So the market's kind of going. Your break even here is, and let me move some numbers here. Your break even at expiration is 243.79 and 217.59. Anywhere between those two numbers, you're going to make money. So I know you may not fully understand theta yet, but it's kind of like, since you're you understand that there's certain casino games that are more favorable probabilities than others. And we'll imagine if you are the casino and you're a WinStar and they're paying you $5 every time you play a hand of blackjack. For a player of blackjack, it's costing them 50 cents every time they play a hand. Because at WinStar, they have an ante.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're the casino, you're collecting that 50 cents. So that 50 cents for the casino would be like their theta decay. Now, it's not quite that. It's a little more messy than that, as Mike kind of alluded to, because there's one unknown, which is VIX, the perception of volatility, and that's like the one variable that you can't quite predict.
So,
well, could it be like the minimum rate, and then as the pot gets bigger, there's another drop for, when pot gets to $100 or whatever?
Kind of like that. That's the easy way to think about it. So if you collected $1,000 a month rent for this place, and they can move out at any time, but you'd buy them out of their lease at any time. So 1,000 divided by 30 is basically roughly $33.33 a day that they're paying you to stay in your place. Now, what gets messy is that it varies sometimes because of a perception of volatility. So someday they pay you $40, other days they pay you $20, but on average, they're going to pay you $33.33 a day.
Oh, I see. So like on a day where the market's like going all over the place, then obviously more volatile, so it's going to be a bigger number.
Actually, it is to be a smaller number because volatility tends to suck things out. And then when risk relaxes, then they make up their difference. So you get paid a little bit more when risk relaxes.
So like, I think one of the difficult things about learning options is it's pretty hard to just kind of digest this all and understand. And, you know, Dale's trying to teach you, you know, the fundamentals behind it. And it's just hard to kind of always, you know, just take it all in and understand what he's saying. So what we're trying to do with the paper trader and the contest is like kind of force you to do trades, and you may not understand 100% why you did that trade or how it works, but we want you to look at the trades on a daily basis, you know, 5-10 minutes, and the market's down. So tomorrow if the market was down tomorrow 1%, I would expect you to look at that QQQ trade and it should be up a little bit. Or maybe a lot. It could be up a lot because of volatility. So you would look at it and say, oh yeah, it's up. And if volatility, if the market was up tomorrow and you're losing money, you should understand why.
Here's a chart of the VIX, and the VIX is kind of called the fear index. So what happened is yesterday, the market, or Friday, the market was down 700 points. So the perception of fear shoots up. And on today, the market's up, so fear relaxes a little bit. So what happens is I had a lot of theta come in today because of that relaxation of fear. Now, fear is a relative thing, because if you look down here before Corona, it was averaging like 15. So during the whole Corona thing, you see it shoot up here, you know, sometime around February. You see it shot up almost to 80. You know, that's where Warren Buffett calls like blood in the streets kind of thing. It's people are scared to death. And then it's kind of relaxed right now. Here's phase two. Now, Corona's breaking out again. Friday, market's down 700 points. I'm scared to death. You know, so that's kind of how VIX and volatility is always changing. The moment it's relaxing a little bit, because the market's up a couple hundred points. So the fear index, which is one of the things that Mike and I are always looking at. We're always looking at the things that we're trading, because when we sell options, you've got a lot of premium that's built into the option prices when fear is high. Because since we're like a seller of insurance, you know, if there's a hurricane coming to the coast of Florida, oh man, insurance rates are very high.
So I got a question for you, Russell. Since you're a newbie, right, and you're trying to learn certain things, and it, you know, it could be overwhelming to have too many strategies at once. Do you think like it would be useful for you if you know, we had a contest where you focused on, you know, one strategy at a time, force you to trade that strategy over and over again, and learn that strategy really well, one strategy and a contest? Like, do you think it'd be more useful for you to have a contest like that, more focused?
Yeah, I think so. Or even like, you know, everybody does kind of like one of those trades in a 1 week period or something like that, or a 2 week period, because like, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of muted the conversation that you guys have.
Yeah.
The text thread, because it's like the only stuff I really understand, and there's the poker stuff that you guys talk about.
Yeah.
But, you know, like these trades that, you know, you guys, Dale, you showed me a couple times now. If I just did that, those, you know, those things like for a week or two at a time, and
right,
really focused on understanding that versus like kind of like, you know, all the different trades and strategies you guys do.
We were thinking like a month, you know, like 45 days of like trading, I don't know, diagonals and poor man covered calls and things like that. And, you know, put you in a contest where people are kind of doing the same thing. Everyone is, I guess it doesn't really matter what level you're at, because, you know,
we were
you can learn
thinking too about having a smaller buy-in, just so it's not as much about the money, and to involve other people who are non-poker
Do you like the
players.
idea of these contests, like the buy-in pot kind of stuff, Russell?
Yeah,
I'm
a gambler, so yeah. I mean, I like it.
So would you prefer a bigger pot, a smaller pot, a bigger, what kind of?
I mean, a bigger pot would obviously incentivize me more to, stay on top of things. I mean, $100, I don't know, for me personally is like, I mean, if you play $100 hand blackjack, it's not that big of a deal, but.
You mean the $1,000 pot is so what's the pot on this one, Dale? This
100. It's 100. We had
the buy-in, right?
The buy-in was $100. We had some side action between a few of us, but for everybody else, it was $100. We had thought about 25, doing them more frequently, or maybe have like multiple contests of 25. So it's kind of like doing one trade on this 25. So, and then you could enter others or just stay with the one contest. It's almost like having, multiple games, like you PLO and Hold'em and Stud, or, you can kind of like decide which contest, and maybe you don't.
But to be honest, for me, like right now, work is just so crazy that I just honestly don't have that much time to invest into it. So, I mean, $100 for me it's like, oh, cool. I'll join and kind of try to learn what I can, but not.
Well, in 15 days, we'll probably start a new one. So we're just kind of asking around kind of what people want. And Mike and I's primary objective is learning. Mo is to kind of gamble it up and, have a big prize pool.
We're
trying to find a common denominator. Yeah. All right. Well, do we want to do any more today, or is that enough for today?
I say we revisit his portfolio in about a week.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Look over your positions and kind of explain what happened and see what's the good and the bad that came out of the last week, and then see if you understand. Try to help you understand what happened over the last week.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, even maybe towards the end of the week would
end of this week. Yeah, that'd be good.
And Russell, one of the things you can do is if you go into your portfolio, anytime you have a question or a thought, there's a couple places you can put it. One, you could click on collaborate, and you could, ask a question down here at the bottom in the white. So, I'm on my portfolio. Here's my question, and you could post it and other people could see it and answer it, to query into it. You can also create a snapshot of your portfolio on how you're doing today. You could highlight the trade, some trade, and then you could make a note up here to yourself of what you learned, what you want to do, how it performed.
At some point in the future, I know you're busy now, but at some point in the future, if things hopefully settle down for you, you'll be able to look back and kind of look at all your portfolios and all your contests and kind of see what we went over and what we talked about, and kind of look back in time. So we're kind of building you a little bit of a history here, and some reference points for you later.
And what I'm going to do, Russell, is once we stop this video, I'll put this video on your Collaborate tab on your contest portfolio. So, if you wanted to go back and review what exactly we did to recreate a trade or something, you could.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's been a good, we like to keep these relatively short, but a little short and sweet, and little tidbits here and there. So,
hey, Russell, good luck with the restaurants. I know it's
thank you.
I'll take it. Be pretty tough.
Yeah.
I really wish you the best.
Thank you.
Russell, all right. Russell, are you going to try to put together an online game today?
Tonight is starting to look bad, but I think tonight or tomorrow. Are you free tomorrow?
Yeah. Hit me up.
I think tomorrow is actually better for me, so
okay, man.
Give a heads up.
All right. Good to see you.
All right. See you guys.
All right. See you. Bye.